Okay, we are now live. OBS is working and everything. Yeah. Hello viewers, Silent Service here, back with another Atlantic Fleet series video on the Royal Navy. Hang on a sec, I should have set the thing to say Royal Navy. Hang on. Okay. Now that's out of the way. Back to this playthrough. HMS Paladin has to go in for repairs, like I said. I'm also bringing Pen with it, like I did last time. And as that's our most patrolled area, that's going to go there. I don't remember what the last episode was like. Because between then and now, I gave this game called Aircraft Carrier Survival a playthrough, a small first look / playthrough of, and turns out I'm a horrible aircraft carrier commander, and game glitches are horrible. And we don't have the RAF, but it's understandable given the time of day. I'm not going to go for the in-game rivalry in this reality between the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force, like the rivalry between the Japanese Navy and the Japanese Army. That one there could easily be torpedoed by Valorius, which, if I remember correctly, did actually take the kill on the Scharnhorst. Elevation 14.7. Fire. Hopefully in this episode we can get through enough turns so that we have Warspite back in the war, because remember 2 episodes back we had a massive battle with Scharnhorst after it had somehow gotten itself across the Atlantic from sinking my aircraft carrier I had. Oh god. With what I've done here to ensure that this U-boat goes down, I think we're going to lose Valorius. Well, we might lose Valorius, we might not. But as a just in case, and also sending away all the torpedoes might make it to that the one torpedo hit won't sink the thing, I'm going to fire all the torpedoes. As firing off all the torpedoes before a torpedo hit my destroyer worked on saving the Paladin, but the Paladin's the lucky ship of the Royal Navy right now. So, like, yeah. So I'm only calling that a one-off fluke. Please hurry up with that torpedo. I'm not making the same mistake as I did with Oslo and have it that the ship sinks, because I wanted to see how quick the U-boat went. I wanted to see the U-boat go, and that cost me a destroyer. Okay, Pen is back. Pen can spend one more turn to be out with Paladin. U-67 is torpedoing Barrack. Okay, hard to port. Now this would be a really good... Okay, there is definitely a rivalry in this playthrough between the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force. I'm calling it. And I don't think it's been made any better with the fact that we used Royal Navy aircraft, but Royal Navy aircraft that were on that carrier we had sunk were taken from the RAF. Now the ships that can actually do something here. My 3 destroyers. Kashmir, Kingston and Vannock. And whenever I mention Kashmir, I always now get the guitar riff from the Led Zeppelin song stuck in my head. And it also doesn't help I used to be able to play it during the very brief time I had my guitars in Dadgad tuning. And now all the naval historians here have just been like, what the hell is he talking about? Which is understandable because your naval historian people don't really know much about guitar related stuff. I happen to fall under the category of a naval historian who is a guitar. So much so that I'm actually writing a song about the Russian 2nd Pacific Squadron. Yes, that is true. I am actually writing a song about the Russian 2nd Pacific Squadron. How many more turns till Warspite's out? 4 more turns. How much renown do we have? We have 40,000. You know what? I'm gonna change the fact that we're not getting a battleship, but I'm not going to be bothered to change the title again. So, I think there's only one U-boat here. So the famous task group of Black Prince, Whitley. Oh great, there are 2 U-boats here. Alright, so we have one there. Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me! Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Well, this is one of the things I said we require, that we are allowed to do this. Like, yeah, it's either that or I have to scuttle the ship. That's the only way that glitch is fixed. Which is a pain that glitch is never going to be fixed. Alright. Paladin and U-68 are firing. Well, no. U-68's firing. And, of course, they go for Paladin. Like, God, in this reality, Paladin has taken over what is the usual ship in my playthroughs that is known as the Kriegsmarine's favourite target, as the Kriegsmarine's favourite target. Okay, elevation 11.7. What I'm gonna have done is... You know what? No, I am gonna keep enemies can disengage on. But what I was thinking was trying to give you all some anti-submarine warfare more than just the way that I do it normally in this game. Okay, Elevation 9.6. Fire! Okay, bring pen around 10 degrees to port. Keep the elevation the same. Why not? Yeah, you know your torpedoes you sent? Well, they're useless. They've missed. Hang on a sec. Speaking of torpedoes... No, I'm not gonna torpedo him. I need to wait another turn if he stays up for that long, but stays here for that long. I need to wait another turn before sending torpedoes towards him. Which he didn't stay for another turn. Oh god. October, so... At most we have to wait about 2 months and then we're in a good state in this war. Like, would be in a better state than we usually are. Meteor and Pathfinder. Okay, hard support. Elevation 7.2. Thing is, I like about Meteor that's different from the main type of destroyers I use, the OP class. I probably said their class type wrong. Or I might have been right, but I know it's at least OP because the ships lettered O and P at their beginnings are in the class. Ooh, that was... That was close. But yeah, that torpedo is now in our propeller wake. Hang on a sec. I think I might be able to get Pathfinder to torpedo. And flank, please. Yes, we are in the range that I would call an acceptable range. 4,700's the furthest I go with torpedoing submarines. And U-156 has joined many other U-boats before her in heading to the bottom. And U-156 was the most modern here. And we have our battleship back! 42. I think it's much better off us getting a... Well, we can afford a carrier quicker. Now, do I get the Courageous or the Illustrious class? I like the Courageous for its looks here, but the Illustrious is more of a better design altogether. Okay. Well, you don't get the same glitch twice in one playthrough, sadly. No, one playing time day game. Oh god. Belfast better survive this, because if it doesn't survive it, then how am I going to brag about the fact that I won a game of World of Warships on the Belfast? Whilst playing as HMS Belfast. That is actually true, because for those of you who haven't seen HMS Belfast, the ship on I believe deck 1, not deck 01, that's one of the superstructure decks, but the first main deck you would go on your tour, I think it's in the area of the bow part of it. You actually have a room there that has World of Warships. Like, there's 2 with Legends editions and multiple of the PC versions, and they've got a whole bunch of like premium ships and everything on it, and among them was HMS Belfast in her 1943 configuration, which Belfast was already different from her sister ships, except for all but one of her sister ships. But she was made even more different in her refit that happened because of her hitting a mine in 1939, which in this reality didn't happen. 128 is out, 130 and 131 are still in. Damn, that was so close. As the song by a band that's turning 40 tomorrow, Metallica, says, so close no matter how far. I'm gonna turn Whitley. I gotta turn Whitley around. I think this one's gonna hit. Never mind! Black Prince, 15 degrees to port, if you would please. Like I believe I said previously, I wish that the designers had made the Didos kind of like, the Atlantis with that destroyer leaders, and so basically light cruisers but with sonar and depth charges on them. As that is one thing I'm glad I found out about when I watched and still am watching Wolfpack 345's War on the Sea playthrough currently of his Royal Navy stuff. Okay, Black Prince, another 5 degrees to port, would you please? Never mind. Whitley, hard to starboard again. Fire. This is the longest engagement we've had that's involved submarines. We had an airstrike this entire time?! Well, I'm absolutely shizer with this type of airstrike, but I'm gonna try. Shizer! That missed! Oh well. Oh well. As three famous British TV presenters that I watch quite a lot say, still, could be worse. Oh god, please don't tell me that. Oh good, the glitch didn't happen again. Right, that's... Black Prince is there, so... The sub is... Oh god, we've lost the sub! What manner of insanity is this? Ah, there it is. There it is. Game. You. Hang on a sec. Next turn, I'm turning Whitley to starboard. And no, port actually, and torpedoing. But yeah, we can't fire upon with Black Prince or Belfast anymore because of the fact that we had almost lost we almost made it so that this battle was null and void because of it. U-131, that's the U-boat we are having most troubles with. And we can't withdraw. Damn blasts. Why do undersea boats have to be so much of a problem? Missed! Sure as hell not going well for us. Well, we're at least moving away from the accursed U-boat. With the ships that matter. There we go. Oh god. Just because I'm weary of how much ammunition we used, all of these ships are going in for a minor refit. Ah, for once the RAF decides to send us something. The other time you can trust me. Oh! So close! Oh god. Oh god. Whoever thought it was a good idea to put rockets on airplanes, could they please be brought out to a town square and publicly executed? Thank you. Signed, the head of the Royal Navy of this reality. Another thing with HMS Belfast that I'm just going back to something I mentioned ages ago now about Belfast. But another thing I like about the HMS Belfast is that, unlike her sister ships, she still kept her stern superimposed 6-inch gun after the war, because after the war all her sister ships that survived the war, and like the Crown Colony class, all had their stern superimposed gun removed for more anti-aircraft weaponry, whereas Belfast had, here's the funny thing, anti-air weaponry in terms of dual purpose 4-inch guns removed for more deck housing. But it was also during then that Belfast actually did receive the greatest anti-aircraft guns in history, the Bofors, the 40mm Bofors. Too bad she never had them in the war. Yep, they left the combat. Good. And Paladin and Penn encounter the U-42. And like always, they go for Paladin. What is it with you and wanting to kill HMS Paladin? If I remember correctly, Paladin was actually one of the first ships we got after we resolved our bankruptcy issue. Because we had those major defeats with the Gneisenau, which actually did necessitate the entry of the famous task group of Belfast, Black Prince and Whitley. Which then Belfast, Black Prince and Whitley would go to outdo their predecessors by getting rid of quite a few capital ships of the Germans. Yep, November 1941, which means we should have the Americans here really soon. We've gained a bar in the tonnage war. Okay, this is the first time we've had any merchantmen, which means I get to test out a theory that a viewer had commented out. which I'm calling it a theory because I hadn't really noticed it beforehand, but it's a way so that you could move all the freighters at once. We're more likely going to lose a freighter to that U-boat there, but at least try and sink it. Apparently doing that is going to make it so that I move. It does! Oh my god, said viewer I'm talking about, hang on a sec, I'm not going to refer you as just a random viewer or something. I'm actually going to now basically pause this stream to get your username and everything. Because if I go into Create Studio here and then Dashboard, viewer Alfie Job, thank you for the information on how to move all freighters at once. And U-68, which I know we encountered before, is sinking. Right, we know the other U-boat's at our rear, so we have to bring Whitley. We have to bring Whitley around. Hang on a sec. 33.8. With what is in our fleet the most experienced gunnery crew. Okay, and move all freighters forward. Oh god, I'm turning all the freighters to port again. I don't want to do the move all ships now because I'd be insane. Whitley, yet again hard to starboard. Hopefully that hit is enough to make them avoid any more confrontations with us. Oh god, that wasn't enough. That was not enough. $30.9, why not? Okay. The move all ships button. U-72 has decided to attack Warspite's task group. And they send out a bomber for what? A destroyer? You're sending it out under for a destroyer that is I've just realised that destroyer is within torpedo range, but not to matter. As long as this dive Sunderland goes quickly with its bombing run, we can save whatever destroyer has been hit. I think it might have been Valorious, but it could have been Bannock. Right, quickly just get this done. It was Valorious. Again. Why are you going for like the World War One destroyer that we modernized? Or early interwar destroyer that we modernized? Why not go for the two modern ones? Or the more modern ones, I should say. God. Two sets of torpedoes coming towards us. Both of them for Meteor. Okay, then. More than likely, Meteor is not gonna make it. And the Germans have taken my philosophy of there's no kill like overkill. Fire 2 out for this side, but then there's the U-boat on the other side as well. There's this one. Which, hopefully, and this is a hopefully, I can get both of those U-boats out with torpedoes. As 2 for 1 isn't really that bad. Right. As I believe its Wolfpack says, there's no kill like overkill. Oh god, I should have slowed this thing down. Bring this around to starboard because it's Meteor going down, isn't it? Yeah, Meteor went down. Okay, Pathfinder, you need a new running mate. You know what? No, Pathfinder. You don't need a new running mate. What you need is to join Whitley and become the second destroyer in the famous task group we have. Woohoo! How far in are we in the recording? 34 minutes, so that means we are well within our recording time. Standard recording time, that is. We are going to get ourselves another pocket battleship. In the middle of the night of November 1941, HMS Warspite and her task group encountered the pocket battleship Admiral Scheer. Slipping in under the cover of darkness, the British had opened up the first shots. Although all the first shots were a mix of long or short. especially on Warspite, because this was her first major engagement since the battle with Scharnhorst of France. And really the first engagement with this task group that hasn't needed the destroyers to be used. Nevertheless, using the element of surprise, the British start their attack on the Admiral Scheer. Okay, Sheffield is the next ship to be done. Nine. At around 11:20, Sheffield gets in what is the first hits of the battle, with 2 of her 6-inch shells from a full salvo she fires towards the Admiral Scheer. This would be the first of many hits the Admiral Scheer would receive. This would also be a good time to mention that the convoy at the time was escorting freighters, or at least a freighter. Side note, only one freighter is depicted here because, yeah, this game only allows 10 ships. Right, back to the roleplay of this battle. (11:22). Warspite. An explosion rocks the Admiral Scheer. This is because Warspite hits the ship with 2 18-inch shells. 15-inch shells. Shit. How? Side note. How the frick am I horrible with my favourite battleship of the British? Right. Around this part of the battle shows just how much the British gunnery has improved since the start of the war. Considering the fact that at the start of the war we were getting hardly any hits in, they were getting hardly any hits in when the German ships were getting all their hits and just basically destroyed 2 squadrons. Hell, I think out of all the ships I've had encounter the Knives now, I think only the game shows it as Phasis, but in reality it's Thunderbolt, survived. It still survives to this day. Right, and our one freighter we have to escort. (11:28). The Admiral Scheer gets its first hit in the engagement, foolishly going for the freighter, one of the freighters, instead of the rather large battleship that's firing upon it, that has got almost but more guns than the Admiral Shear, as well as also the fact higher caliber guns, or any of the heavy cruisers that are going after it, which also pose a threat to the ship. But the crew on the Shear, which it's never known why, because the entirety of the British crew do not survive the sinking, or the war. I'm saying the war because the ship might not sink here. They instead go for the freighter in the task group. What the f- Okay. (11:43). You know what we said about British gunfire improving? Never mind on that. It's also around this time that the Admiral Shield goes under a smokescreen. This is believed to be its attempt to escape the battle. But it always seems that the Royal Navy's fire is much more accurate when you can't see the target properly, so you can't get a proper depth of if you have the range on him or not. Oh god, that missed. This is gonna miss as well, more likely. Yes, it does. Hit or miss. It takes only a snagging hit, and yeah, everything's short. Keep firing short. Admiral Shear opens fire again at 11:48. Closely followed by Warspite opening fire again at the, by this point, listing heavy cruiser. At midnight, the order is given from the flagship Warspite that all ships with 6-inch guns or lower is to hold fire. The cruiser Ajax receives this message, but Sheffield does not. But Sheffield doesn't and carries on firing. and the destroyer Kashmir took that as the order to try and charge the Admiral Scheer. And would, for the rest of the battle, not listen to orders from the flagship. Kingston, seeing the orders from the flagship, decides to turn around to try and help cover the freighters, which are, by this point, retreating, while Vanek stays on course and in formation. "12:04. Something must have gone wrong in the B turret of the Admiral Scheer, because the crew inside do not respond to the commands to fire. The ship by this point has an uncontrollable fire in the forward rangefinders, and by where the smokestack by this point was. And it's all over as the Admiral Scheer finally strikes her colours and goes down. Survivors from the ship are little, but it was found out what happened to the B turret crew. They mutinied after their turret almost got penetrated and abandoned ship first. And ending up being the only survivors from the ship. Later on that day though, later on that day, because it's midnight, Beric ends up hitting a mine and is under dry dock for 12 turns of 6 weeks. What I've done with this task group here, the Belfast task group, is have a 50% increase in terms of anti-submarine capability. And also, I'm never trying again to make it sort of like the way of describing how battles went the way I did it. Hang on a sec. Whitley is in torpedo range, so Whitley, we're putting you at risk here. And may I just say, in this reality, when the war is over, if Whitley, Black Prince and Belfast survive, they are all going to be museum ships put next to each other. That's if they survive, though. Ah, Valorius is back, and Pearl Harbor has happened, which means now we should be better on the tonnage war. Oh god, that's Paladin, isn't it? Yes, that is Paladin, but no, it isn't being sunk because the U-boat commander was a slight bit of an idiot and didn't aim his torpedoes a little more to the left. If he'd aimed them a little more to the left, Paladin might not have kept her lucky ship of the Royal Navy status. But now, because of that one simple mistake, by only like 0.1 of a degree, he's lost his ship, and his crew, and his life! That's what happens to U-boat commanders who do idiot mistakes like aiming incorrectly. And U-128 has decided to have a go at trying to sink the Belfast and her task group. I'm sorry, but if what is currently your second most powerful surface ship, if Grosh Bay is still alive, can't sink us, then how do you think a U-boat's gonna sink us? I'm saying if Grosh Bay is still alive because I don't remember if we took out Grosh Bay or not. I know we've took out Lutzel because that was this task group minus Pathfinder. I know we took out Sheer because that was just Warspite's task group. I know we have taken out the Admiral Hipper because that was this task group here minus Pathfinder. No need of fire. That U-boat's getting torpedoed. Whether it likes it or not, it's getting torpedoed. Hard to port for all the freighters. Goodbye, Mr. U-boat. Hang on a second. I just realized something. And that was I just realized something. We have 62,000 renown, which I'm going to use on God, do we have a battleship? We could get another Queen Elizabeth, but I'm gonna get a carrier again. Indomitable. Okay, Warspite hard to port, please. Thank you. Ah, the Royal Air Force is finally helping. Maybe it's because we sacrificed quite a bit of our budget so that they can get B-24s. But U-33 is sinking, and so the Warspite task group is saved from tragedy. And that is where I'm going to call this video to a close, viewers. Hope you enjoyed Silent Service.